Hello there, today I thought I'd review all the Alien films. There are 6 films in this franchise, all the way up to the first Alien from 1979 and Alien Covenant from 2017. I'm going to be reviewing short reviews of each 6 films. Instead of doing a big review for each one, I thought I'd just do a little summary thoughts on every film in this franchise, just so I can get loads of franchises out of the way, so I can express to you my thoughts on loads of franchises that I love. And I thought this would be a good way to do it. It's just quickly review the films. I did this before with like the Mission Impossible franchise and stuff like that. So I thought I'd just do quick reviews of each of these movies. I really like this franchise. It's sort of in pairs. You have the first two, the second two, and then the two sort of prequel films. So the Alien franchise is sort of in pairs. Sort of, but I have seen all the 6 films. I've been watching them recently. Let's get started with 1979's Ridley Scott's Alien. This is a masterpiece of cinema work, and I will be reviewing the theatrical cuts for the first 4 films. Not the special edition cuts, because I haven't seen them yet. I've only seen the theatrical ones. But the theatrical cut for the first Alien is amazing. I'm assuming the special edition might be better, but I really love this film. The way it presents this creature as this mysterious thing and building up the world building. This is just a very condensed horror film, which I love. It's a very condensed film, and every single movie where you see a group of people trying to escape from something, and they all getting taken down one by one. Every single one of those horror films has all been inspired. That structure of horror film has all been inspired by Alien. And none of those films have ever been better than that. There is not one film that's structured like Alien that has been better than it. And it has inspired so many films, and it's a really impactful movie. And I like how you never actually learn who the main protagonists are until later until halfway through the movie, sort of. And I love the first Alien. I think it's suspenseful. Each of the characters have something to them. There really is no flaws in this entire film. It's amazing. The production design for the Alien is still amazing. It's the greatest Alien design of all time. I mean, it's amazing. The Xenomorph is fantastic. You never learn much about the Xenomorph. That really comes into the next films in the franchise. Here, it's just these space crew attempting to escape it, and it's extremely thrilling. The finale is extremely exciting. You gotta love the cat as well. That adds for a lot of really tense moments in the film, and it is very suspenseful. There are a few jump scares that are done very, very well, and the production design is excellent. I mean, Ridley Scott is excellent at directing, but this still looks... If Alien was released today, it's one of the only movies of all time where if this movie was released today, it would still be a masterpiece. It would still be perfect in every single way. But a movie like this could not be made today. The practical effects are just absolutely outstanding. The visuals are some of the best of all time, and I love this film. I think Alien is a masterpiece of its generation, and I'm going to give Alien an A+. This is a 10 out of 10. Let's crack on to the next movie in the Alien saga, Aliens, and this is my favourite. There are people that like Alien more, and there are people that like Aliens more. Alien is a more condensed character thriller and a more condensed horror, and I think it does its job better than that. I think Alien has the things better in it, for sure. It's a more claustrophobic movie, but Aliens is just a downright more intense, more extremely exhilarating action movie. Sigourney Weaver's character, Ellen Ripley, gets a lot of development in this film, and she does a great job. The entire finale is some of the best filmmaking of all time. Again, the practical effects. This movie looks amazing in every single way. Yes, the majority of it is just people running around hallways with big guns trying to find aliens. And again, it doesn't show the aliens too much. It only shows them when necessary. It only shows them when maybe our characters have seen them. So it only really shows the aliens for a split second. And it makes it a lot more terrifying, because you never know when these creatures are going to show up. The addition of the little girl, Newt, I thought was great in the movie. And really, the entire last hour of this film is just filmmaking heaven. It is the best of all time. Aliens is one of my favourite movies ever made. It is one of the best action movies. The first 2 Alien films I compare very similar to the first 2 Terminator films. But James Cameron came in to this franchise, made an action movie, made it completely different to Alien, and made a worthy sequel, a better sequel in my opinion, a more entertaining sequel I'm going to want to rewatch over and over again. And I like it more than Alien, for the fact that it is more entertaining, it is more exhilarating. Maybe that is the point, that it has more aliens in, or it has better characters, because it does. I love what Aliens does. It doesn't expand too much on the Xenomorphs, again. It just gives us more intensity with the characters, giving us another situation. And I love this film. From the get-go, it's far more investing than the first, and I think it's extremely exciting, and again, one of the best films of all time. I'm going to give Aliens an A+. And this is also a 10 out of 10, but I do like it more than Alien. Alright, let's crack on with the two disappointing Alien movies. Alien 3, directed by David Fincher. I don't think this is David Fincher's fault why this movie is that mediocre, because it really is. This is a movie that actually I think starts off really strong, and actually I was really emotionally affected by the opening of this film, and I think it started off, the first 20 minutes of this film are great. Really good. When it gets going, though, it gets really mediocre. Some of the CGI with the alien is really terrible. Again, I've only seen the theatrical cut. Maybe the assembly cut or something is much better, which I've heard it is. But the theatrical cut is really disappointing. It's far too short. And I don't care about any of the new characters. I appreciate what they do with Ripley's character. That's mainly my biggest praise I can give this movie. The opening, I thought was ballsy and it was great, but they went nowhere with it, and they made it so mediocre. And the Ellen Ripley is still a great character, and they do lots of good things with her character in this movie that I really, really loved. But the ending is just, I hate it. I really hate the ending. I don't know what it is. I appreciate what they were going for, but the lead up to it isn't very good. And I just didn't appreciate it at all, really. But it's not as well looking as the first two either. It's nowhere near as well directed. I like some of the alien moments at the end when you see it from the perspective of the alien, but that's always something I found so interesting about the alien films. It's never in the perspective of the alien. We never get to see the alien on its own. We always see the humans their interactions with it. In here, they show it far too often, and the CGI for it's actually pretty bad. And some of the horror sequences where it tries to be scary, I saw coming a mile away. But Alien 3 is a very mediocre movie. I think it had the potential to be great and just missed the mark. I'm going to give Alien 3 a C. This is a 5 out of 10. Disappointing, for sure. Alright, now we go to Alien Resurrection. This was the movie that tried to retcon Alien 3, tried to remove that from the canon. And okay, this is 200 years later, we get Ellen Ripley as a clone, which is terrible. She is terrible in this movie. But it's not her, it's the script. It's oh my god, it's terrible. I can't deal with this film. I don't hate this movie. I don't think it's terrible. I didn't like the decisions made in Alien 3. I thought they were ballsy, and I liked the decisions they're making. But they just didn't go anywhere with it. And this movie tries to do that. Again, another issue with Alien 3, they show the aliens far too much. I mean, the production design for them is excellent here. They are very wet and slobbery in this movie, but we see far too much of them. And the newborn is one of the most disgusting things ever put to film. It is horrible, disgusting. I hate it. I want to throw up looking at it. It makes me physically sick. I don't like it. But the characters here are terrible. The performances, Rob Pillman, Winona Ryder, all awful, really bad. The twists and turns throughout the film are terrible as well. Some of the CGI effects, again, it's a watchable film. It's a bad movie for sure, and it does its best to get something else out of this franchise. And I like the way it ended. I like the way that they come back to Earth, and I like the last line that Sigourney Weaver says, where she's like, you know what, now she's back on Earth. It's sort of like she is the alien. She is going to be an alien on this planet now, and I appreciate that. But that message was not presented well throughout the entire series, in my opinion. It just felt so tacked on, this film. It felt like Alien 3 should have sort of ended the way it did, but this movie tried to get something else out of this franchise. And in terms of getting something else out of this franchise after Alien 3, I appreciate what they did, but it's a watchable bad movie. I can watch this movie. It's semi-entertaining at points, but it's really terrible. There are things that I roll my eyes at. The characters are just horrendous. And yeah, I really don't like Alien Resurrection. It's watchable. It's watchable. It's perfectly watchable. It's okay. I certainly didn't hate the decisions in it as much as I did in Alien 3. But, I mean, if you're going to retcon another movie, at least make this one better. But they made this one far worse. This is far worse than Alien 3. Alien Resurrection, I'm going to give it a C-, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Alright, moving on to, finally, some more Alien films that I love. Prometheus. Oh my god, I adore this film. This is a brilliant sci-fi movie that also works as a prequel to Alien. But just as a standard sci-fi film, this is extremely investing. And when this movie gets crazy, I mean horror crazy, it freaking blew my mind. It was amazing. Just the exploration of where we come from, I thought was really, really well put together. Michael Fassbender, excellent in the movie. The rest of the cast, really good. If I had to pinpoint one issue with Prometheus, some of the side characters are weak. The two that get killed by the alien first are really weak characters. but the rest of the movie looks gorgeous. This is a visually stunning film. Ridley Scott directed an amazing movie. The cinematography in this movie is absolutely excellent. The visuals are some of the best of all time, and I love Prometheus. I think it's a really, really investing movie with themes and all this extra stuff in there that I love. I think it's one of the best directed films I've seen over the past 10 years. I love Prometheus. I think it's an excellent movie. I really do. I really do. It's not an Alien film. Alien Covenant's more the Alien side, but it ties into the Alien franchise without making it feel like an Alien film. It feels like a brand new sci-fi world that I want to explore. And after watching it, I didn't want any more Alien films. I wanted more Prometheus. I'm going to give Prometheus an A. This is a 9 out of 10. Alright, moving on, we have Alien Covenant. I really like this film. As a sequel to Prometheus, it works really well, especially what it does with Michael Fassbender's characters. Excellent stuff. And the new characters I don't care about. I'm going to get my issues out of the way with Alien Covenant first. The new characters are just bland. I don't really care for any of them. The only characters I cared for in this movie were Michael Fassbender's two characters, who I loved. I loved him in this movie. Excellent. Far better than he was in Prometheus. But I really like Covenant. It's a tense movie. I like how it explores the lore more and where these things come from. I think it explored that extremely well, still tying into the themes of Prometheus. I think it's a great sequel to Prometheus. I think it's a great prequel to the Alien films. I think it ends really, really solidly. I really liked it. When it got into the standard Alien films, I really didn't want this to be just a standard Alien movie, and when they're running around the hallways, I was still really enjoying it. The Alien, I thought, looked cool, and there was some really good action sequences with it, and it was a tense movie. It did feel confined, but I just didn't care about the characters there. I cared about the themes, and I really liked the story, but I didn't really care about the main characters, which is not going to make this one as good as Prometheus. It's a good mixture between Alien and Prometheus together, and I really liked Alien Covenant. I thought it was a really good movie. I'm going to give Alien Covenant a B+. I'm going to give this one a 7.7 out of 10. There we go. There's my ratings, grades, reviews for all 6 Alien films. I like this franchise quite a bit. Again, it's in pairs. You have the 2 masterpieces, you have the 2 awful disappointments, and then you have the 2 really good prequels. So there you go. There's my thoughts on Alien films. Comment down below your thoughts on the Alien franchise down below. And of course, thanks for watching, and goodbye.